I call the honourable member, Paul Foster-Bell.
Paul Marie, Mr Speaker. Sir, I will take a very brief call on this bill because I think it's been very well explained and well canvassed by the member introducing the bill, the Minister of Justice, the Honourable Judith Collins, and also by our excellent and diligent Chair of the Select Committee, Scott Simpson, who went into some detail about the provisions within the bill. But, sir, I do feel I should also rebut some of the suggestions from the opposition that either we do not take victims' rights seriously, because that couldn't be further from the truth. And if you look at the work that this government's done, including introducing the offenders levy of $50, which contributes towards programs which support victims, and other measures, including the introduction of public protection orders and changes to other legislation that we've made, there has been consistent and continual improvement over the last few years of this government in terms of the treatment of victims in the justice system. So I want to focus on a particular part of this bill which I think is most important and very welcome, and that is the way that victims are defined. And Mr Clendon referred to the definition of victims, but I think it's very important that the change involving domestic violence be introduced. So that is children who are not necessarily the personal victim of an attack, but a kid who witnesses mum being beaten by dad, or a child who is in a household where domestic violence is happening, will be allowed to receive the support that the victim of another sort of a crime might receive. And another particular part, sir, that will be useful for those younger and more vulnerable victims is the ability to submit photographs, drawings, or visual representations as part of a victim impact statement. And there are few things more heart-rending, sir, or moving than seeing a crayon or pencil or felt-tip drawing made by a child to explain the impacts of the offending against them by an offender, particularly in cases of domestic violence. Sir, this is a very good bill, and I commend it unreservedly to the House.
Mr Speaker.
I call the honourable member, Dennis O'Rourke.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The Victims of Crime Reform Bill amends and improves the Victims' Rights Act 2002, the Children, Young Persons and their Families